Hey YouTube, how is it going today? In this video, I want to talk about Clean Energy Fuels Corporation, ticker symbol CLNE. Their chart looks great after a strong breakout following a nice consolidation, so this could be the start of a big move up. After that, stick around because I have some other nice looking tradable charts to show you as well. Now, if you're new to my channel, I've been trading and investing for over 20 years, and in every video, I'll show you some of the potential trades and investments that I see setting up. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any future trading or investing ideas. And I also have a Patreon group, so if you would like to be a part of our community and see what we are buying and selling in real time, that link is in the description. All right, guys and gals, let's get into this chart of Clean Energy Fuels Corporation. But first, if I could ask you for a favor, if you could like the smash button for me and help me out with the YouTube algorithm for putting all this together for you guys, I would greatly appreciate that. The ticker symbol on this company is CLNE, and make sure you stick around after this chart because I have some other nice looking charts that I want to show you of some other companies that look like they could be ready to take off as well. But I was watching this one in the early parts of the day, and I actually was looking at this pattern and saw that it was starting to move pre-market. And I was thinking that I wanted to get into some options because this is an absolutely beautiful chart pattern. You can see as this stock was starting to come down to that 200 period simple moving average, that yellow line on the chart, that the 200 period simple moving average stopped the downtrend dead in its tracks, and it was going sideways. That's telling you that there's a lot of accumulation going on, because anytime it gets near that 200, it's being bought up by someone or some ones out there, and usually that's the setup before the stock taking off. That you can think of that as kind of like a Coke bottle that's being shook up, and then finally once it breaks through that resistance, it's like the top coming off that Coke bottle and you get that explosion upwards. Now I was looking at the options at this one early on in the day, and man, they just went absolutely crazy. Even when the stock started to pull back, the options really weren't pulling back that much, and that's pretty unusual. So that's kind of telling me there's a lot of interest going on in the stock. And when you look at the volume down here, you can see there's a ton of volume pouring in. But let's go intraday to the 15-minute chart and take a closer look at that accumulation that was going on. You can see the downtrend that was coming down, and it started to lose its momentum right around $8 a share, and then it started to go sideways, making a very nice rounding bottom. You can see these lows are starting to rise and put pressure on this resistance area right around 8.25 or so, and then finally it exploded through it. And I wanted to get this, right around 8.50 or so. But man, it's saying it just exploded way too fast, and I missed it. And the options went up even faster than the stock price. And I was really interested in getting into the options. That was kind of a bummer. The $9 strike price when I was starting to record this video was around $1.50, and there's only 15 days left on those options. So this thing has to get to $10.50 just to break even on those options. And man, that is a lot of premium to pay on a stock this cheap that is that close to expiring. So I really didn't want to pay that much. I was hoping they were going to come down a little bit, but they don't seem like they're coming down just yet. I was looking at the $7 strike, and they wanted $2.55. So that puts my break even right around $9.55 or so. So that one's a lot more manageable. That might be the one that I end up going with. But man, that option activity was just unusual. That's really making me think that there could be something else going on with Clean Energy Fuels. Let's go back to let's go to the weekly chart real quick. If you go to the weekly chart, you can see it was definitely stopped dead in its tracks right around $7.65 or so, but it is finding resistance at that 8-period exponential moving average. So you're going to have resistance there, and you're going to have some resistance right around $10 a share as it gets towards that 21-period exponential moving average. It's another one that usually offers some pretty good resistance and support. But if we go back to that daily chart, we can see that the 50-period simple moving average is right around $10.50. So in this area between call it $9.50 and about $10.50, there's some pretty decent resistance. But with all of the volume that's been coming in, I think if we get a little bit more buying pressure coming in, it should be able to blast through this area pretty easily. Now I'm hoping that either it pulls back later in the day or it pulls back tomorrow, so I get a chance to buy some of those options cheaper, because I'd much rather pay less than what they're asking right now. But they might not come down, and I didn't want to buy any shares. So that is my dilemma with clean energy. But with all the action that is going on with it, makes me think that something is up and I want to be a part of it. Hopefully it does pull back, but man, I just wanted to show you guys this chart, and I actually have some other charts that I want to show you. Let's jump to the next one. Another chart that was making a very similar pattern was Zomedica. You can see that Zomedica was also finding support at that 200 period simple moving average, started to move sideways, and then boom, you got that explosion up. Now it's finding resistance at that 50 period simple moving average, so I don't know if it's going to be able to get above it or not, but definitely a nice looking chart pattern on Zomedica. And if we go to the 15-minute chart, you can definitely see that beautiful rounded bottom formation. Once this starts happening, I start getting ready to buy, and then I find a clear-cut resistance area, and on Zomedica it was right between about 85 and 90 cents, but it exploded through it before I could catch it, even though it's pulling back to it right now. So maybe when I get done with this video, I'm gonna have to take another look at Zomedica. CLNE was the one I was the most interested in, especially looking at that option activity, but Zomedica looks pretty good as well. Let's go to the daily chart and jump to the next one. Next one I want to show you was STCN. Oh, and wow, STCN is actually breaking through. It's pulling back a little bit, but it was well below that resistance area when I started putting this video together. And man, it looks like it could be breaking through this area like any time now. And this is absolutely beautiful chart. It had a huge run up in Steel Connect back in mid-January. Pulled all the way back and started forming this beautiful triangle consolidation. With these, you just kind of wait for it to put pressure on that upper resistance area and then break through and hold. Once it breaks through and holds, that's your signal to buy. And and if it keeps running up, you just hold on to it. But if it breaks below that resistance area again, back into this triangle, that's when I like to exit and take my small loss. But STCN is looking pretty darn good. Another one I want to show you is EBON. EBON is making a very nice bottoming pattern, a little bit of a double bottom here, jumping above those moving averages, and is printing a pretty decent green candle above these two moving averages. So the next stop should be right around $4.35, right around that 50 period simple moving average, and that's a pretty decent move up from here. You're talking, it's going to be about a 24% move from these levels. So still a lot of upside left in EBON and just a beautiful bottoming formation. Next one I want to show you is Smith & Wesson. Smith & Wesson, a little bit higher stock, but another beautiful rounding bottom formation. And this one is starting to blast off. This one isn't a huge mover, but you can definitely see this beautiful rounded bottom accumulation, and it's just starting to get into that acceleration phase. So Smith & Wesson brands definitely worth taking a look at. And the last one that I wanted to show you was SLRX. SLRX is making a little bit of a triple bottom. It's holding that 200 period simple moving average. As you can see, this one can really get going. This thing went from about $1.30 up to about $3.50 a share in just a couple trading days back in February. It pulled all the way back to this triangle consolidation, has continued to move sideways, and it looks like it's finally starting to put pressure on that resistance area again. So I wouldn't be buying SLRX just yet, but if it breaks above this resistance right around $1.50 and holds that white line, that 8 period exponential moving average, then it's probably going to continue to the upside. And another thing I like about this chart is the volume that's coming in the last 2 trading days as it's trying to break through this resistance. So you can see there's a lot of buying pressure coming in, a lot of momentum that's starting to push this stock to the upside. So I am patiently waiting for the breakout on SLRX because this is a beautiful looking chart pattern. All right, guys, well, that's all I have for this video, so I'm going to end it right there. But if you have any questions about any of these stocks, or if you have any other stocks you want me to take a look at, please leave them down there in the comment section. I will get to them as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, guys, and until next time, take care.